Men over 60 eat this in the morning to boost circulation down there. Dr. Rachel Ross. If you are a man experiencing a noticeable decline in the performance of your manhood, if the vibrancy it once possessed has faded, if your mornings are now consistently quiet and devoid of the natural vitality they once held, and if your inherent confidence is steadily slipping away, leaving you feeling frustrated and perhaps even embarrassed, tired of the relentless charade of pretending that these profound changes do not deeply bother you, then it is imperative that you listen with utmost attention and an open mind. What I am about to reveal to you, drawing from my extensive clinical experience, possesses the potential to profoundly surprise you, perhaps even truly shock you, as it challenges many prevailing assumptions about men's health. You see, after dedicating over 3 decades to treating thousands of men, specifically those navigating the complexities of aging beyond 60, I have made a critical and consistently observed discovery. The single most profoundly overlooked and fundamentally significant cause of weak, inconsistent, or altogether absent erections is not, as widely believed and commonly cited, primarily a deficiency in testosterone levels. Rather, it is an often neglected issue of suboptimal blood flow and compromised vascular health. And the truly remarkable aspect of this revelation is that the definitive fix, the sustainable solution, is not found within the confines of a chemical blue pill, nor does it necessitate the investment in an expensive, often uncomfortable medical device. It isn't even reliant upon a complex regimen of costly dietary supplements. In fact, what I propose is strikingly simple. It involves a common, readily available vegetable that, when incorporated into your daily morning routine, can within a surprisingly short span of days begin to dramatically revitalize your systemic circulation, restore your natural energy levels, and profoundly reawaken your manhood. My name is Dr. Rachel Ross, and I am a dedicated men's health specialist, bringing with me over 30 years of invaluable experience committed to guiding and empowering older men to successfully regain their lost strength, rebuild their eroded confidence, and rediscover their innate vitality. In this comprehensive presentation, I am going to meticulously walk you through a truly powerful, entirely natural solution that is not only robustly backed by rigorous scientific research, but has also been unequivocally trusted and validated by a multitude of real patients. And perhaps most encouragingly, it is effortlessly available in virtually every single grocery store across the nation. The transformative power truly begins when you choose to intentionally start your morning every morning with this one particular food. When you do, everything within your physiological landscape begins to undergo a profound and positive transformation. Your blood pressure, which may have been a concern, starts to stabilize, returning to healthier ranges. Your body's production of nitric oxide, a crucial vasodilator, significantly rises, and consequently, oxygenated blood flows precisely and efficiently to every region where it is critically needed, including, most importantly for this discussion, to the vital areas down there. The unfortunate reality is that the vast majority of men remain entirely unaware of this fundamental biological truth, which is precisely why I implore you with genuine urgency to remain with me through the entirety of this video. I will meticulously explain precisely how this natural mechanism functions, provide clear instructions on how to effectively integrate it into your life, and illuminate why such a significant number of men report experiencing tangible, life-altering results in as little as 7 days. The forgotten reason for weakening erections after 60, a truth that I want to emphatically begin with, is something most men regrettably never hear about. They certainly won't learn it from their general practitioner, nor from casual conversations with friends, and most definitely not from the glossy, often misleading advertisements on television that tend to oversimplify complex health issues. And yet, despite its pervasive silence in common discourse, it stands as one of the most vitally important truths I have gleaned and applied throughout my 3 decades as a dedicated men's health physician. The misconception, the persistent myth, myth is that erections simply and inevitably disappear after 60 merely because one is getting older. This reductionist view entirely misses the profound underlying physiology. The authentic physiological reason is far more specific and actionable. Your blood simply isn't circulating and flowing through your body with the same youthful efficiency and vigor it once did. I've personally had countless men, good men, strong men, men who have tirelessly worked hard and contributed throughout their entire lives, sit across from me in my office, their eyes reflecting a quiet despair as they utter the disheartening words, "Doc, I genuinely believe I'm just past my prime. My best years are behind me." And with unwavering conviction, I look them directly back in the eye and gently but firmly tell them, "No, absolutely not. Your prime, your fundamental capacity for vitality, still resides deeply within you. It is not your manhood that has fundamentally failed. Rather, it is your intricate circulatory system that has been gradually neglected, leading to its current suboptimal state. You must understand that your profound ability to both achieve and sustain a robust erection fundamentally hinges upon one critical, overarching system within your body: efficient, unimpeded blood flow. More precisely, it depends on the dynamic and vigorous flow of oxygen-rich blood into the exquisitely tiny, delicate vessels that comprise the architecture of your penis. And this essential, life-giving flow is powered by a truly remarkable gaseous molecule that your body produces entirely naturally, a miraculous substance known as nitric oxide. When you were in your younger, more vibrant years, your nitric oxide levels were abundant and robust. This is precisely why everything, every aspect of your physiological response worked so quickly, so effortlessly, and often with minimal conscious effort whatsoever. However, as you gracefully advance beyond the age of 60, your body's natural production of nitric oxide begins to precipitously decline, sometimes by an astonishing margin of more than 70%. Concurrently, your arteries, those vital pathways of blood transport, begin to gradually stiffen and lose their youthful elasticity. The delicate inner lining of your blood vessels, an incredibly important layer known as the endothelium, becomes noticeably less responsive to the signals that once commanded it to relax and expand. As a direct, inevitable consequence of these combined physiological changes, the powerful, surging gush of blood that once effortlessly filled your penis like an inflating balloon, creating a firm and lasting erection, now unfortunately manifests as little more than a hesitant, inadequate trickle. It is crucial to internalize this truth. You are not broken. Your fundamental masculinity is not inherently flawed. Your body is simply and profoundly asking for help, signaling that its internal mechanisms require specific support and revitalization. And here is the profound part that resonates so deeply and often hits home for a great many of my cherished patients. This significant physiological change does not merely impact your physical performance in intimate moments. Its ramifications extend far more broadly, deeply affecting your core confidence, eroding your sense of self-worth, and even straining the emotional intimacy and connection you share with your partner. The most tragically disheartening aspect of this entire situation is that the vast majority of men are never informed that this condition is, in fact, entirely fixable. But I assure you, it absolutely is, and in a far more natural, sustainable, and profoundly empowering manner than you might currently conceive. Because, believe it or not, there exists a wonderfully simple vegetable, an unassuming staple, one that you can easily consume every single morning, that possesses the remarkable capability to assist your body in fundamentally rebuilding its depleted nitric oxide reserves and effectively restarting the powerful engine that drives not only your firm, responsive erections, but also your sustained energy and overall robust circulation. and over the course of the next few minutes, I will reveal to you exactly what that specific vegetable is, meticulously explaining why it is far more profoundly powerful and efficacious than most of the pharmaceutical pills currently flooding the market, offering a truly holistic and enduring path to renewed vitality. Now, let us turn our attention to the one vegetable that possesses the extraordinary capacity to rebuild and revitalize circulation in older men, offering a natural and potent remedy. When I first encountered and subsequently discovered the truly remarkable power encapsulated within this particular vegetable, I must candidly admit that my initial reaction was one of healthy skepticism. This skepticism wasn't rooted in a disbelief in the ancient wisdom of food as medicine, a concept I deeply embrace and advocate for, but rather because the solution seemed almost too elegantly simple, too straightforward to be genuinely effective. Could something so utterly ordinary, so widely available, and indeed so incredibly inexpensive, truly exert such a profound and measurable difference in the intricate flow of blood to the most vitally important and sensitive parts of a man's body? This question lingered in my mind. However, my doubts quickly began to dissipate as I started to meticulously observe the undeniable, transformative results firsthand. And crucially, I wasn't the solitary observer of these profound changes. My patients, men in their late 60s, their 70s, and even those courageously navigating their early 80s, were consistently returning to my office after a mere few weeks of implementing this simple dietary change. They would share their experiences with a newfound sense of awe and gratitude, exclaiming things like, "Dr. Kara, I woke up firm again this morning, just like I used to in my younger days." Or, with a voice brimming with emotion, they would declare, "For the first time in countless months, I actually felt ready, truly ready, just like I used to feel." And the only significant dietary or lifestyle modification these men had made was the remarkably simple act of incorporating this one specific food into their established morning routine. The vegetable I am speaking about with such earnest conviction is beetroot. Yes, you heard correctly. Humble, unpretentious beets. This deep red root, which is all too often casually pushed aside on dinner plates or sadly overlooked and forgotten at the bottom of a bustling salad bar, harbors a profoundly important secret. Hidden deep within its vibrant flesh is a highly concentrated compound that your aging body desperately needs and yearns for: dietary nitrate. When you mindfully consume beets, your body possesses the extraordinary biochemical machinery to convert these dietary nitrates into that crucial gaseous molecule we discussed earlier, nitric oxide. This is the very same gas that acts as a powerful signaling agent, gently yet firmly instructing your arteries to relax, to gracefully open up, and thereby allow blood to surge and flow freely, unimpeded, throughout your vascular system. What is particularly remarkable and truly awe-inspiring is the highly targeted and selective nature of this effect. The increased, invigorated blood flow doesn't merely benefit your heart, enhancing its pumping efficiency, or your brain, sharpening your cognitive functions. Critically, it also dramatically improves and optimizes circulation specifically to your pelvic region, a vital area that encompasses the unique, sponge-like erectile tissue nestled within your penis, which is designed to fill with blood and expand dramatically during moments of arousal, leading to a firm erection. For older men, this targeted enhancement is everything. It signifies a monumental shift. You are not merely improving your mechanical ability to achieve an erection, you are fundamentally nourishing and revitalizing the entire intricate system that intrinsically supports your overall vitality, your sustained energy levels, and your profound sense of self-confidence. And there is another layer of understanding I wish to impart, something deeply personal that underscores the reality of this approach. Years ago, I had the privilege of working closely with a truly remarkable gentleman named Charles. He was 71 years old at the time, a retired engineer by profession, a man of quiet dignity who confided in me that he hadn't experienced a full, natural erection in over a year, a reality that had deeply impacted his quality of life. Together, we implemented one incredibly simple change into his daily regimen. We had him begin each morning with just a single glass of fresh beet juice, approximately 6 ounces. That was the extent of the intervention. By the end of merely the second week, Charles contacted me, his voice trembling with emotion and a profound sense of relief. He tearfully recounted, "Dr. Kara, I feel like myself again, truly, wholly myself." It was at that precise moment, witnessing Charles's profound transformation, that I unequivocally knew this was not merely an abstract scientific theory or an academic hypothesis. It was a tangible, living, and utterly real solution with the power to change lives. Now, the logical next step is to comprehend precisely what actually transpires inside your body at a cellular and systemic level when you consume beets. How does that unassuming dietary nitrate undergo its amazing metamorphosis into nitric oxide? And critically, how does it manage to so effectively restore optimal blood flow exactly where you need it most? Let's meticulously break down this fascinating physiological process, and in doing so, you will come to truly appreciate why the specific timing and precise preparation of beets matter far more than you might currently imagine. Let us now delve into the intricate biochemical and physiological processes that unfold within your body when you consume beets, illuminating their transformative power. You might naturally be wondering, with a degree of healthy skepticism, how something as remarkably simple and readily available as a common beet can genuinely contribute to restoring the robust blood flow you enjoyed effortlessly in your younger years. It's a perfectly valid inquiry, as I candidly admit. I used to pose that very same question myself when I was first exploring these mechanisms. However, once you gain a comprehensive understanding of the precise internal cascade of events happening within your body, the entire concept not only begins to make profound sense, but also, quite honestly, it feels akin to witnessing a slow-motion miracle gracefully unfolding right beneath the surface of your skin, a silent yet incredibly powerful biological marvel. Here's the precise sequence of what transpires when you consciously choose to incorporate beets into your diet. You're not merely receiving a dose of beneficial fiber, crucial vitamins, or potent antioxidants, although these are certainly valuable contributions. More significantly, you are directly supplying your body with an abundant and readily available source of dietary nitrates. And these specific nitrates serve as the essential raw material, the fundamental building blocks that your body masterfully utilizes to produce that critically important signaling molecule we've discussed, nitric oxide. It is an invisible, silent gas, yet it orchestrates one of the most powerful and vital roles within your entire vascular system. Nitric oxide acts as the quintessential biological command, directly instructing your blood vessels to relax their muscular walls. It emphatically tells your arteries, those crucial conduits of life, open up, expand, allow the blood to surge and flow freely and unimpeded. This, my friends, is the precise biological signal your body has been desperately missing, the key to unlocking renewed circulatory efficiency. The remarkable journey of these nitrates begins immediately in your mouth. As you rhythmically chew the beet, or when beet juice washes over your tongue, specialized commensal bacteria residing on your tongue's surface initiate the crucial first step. They begin the enzymatic conversion of the nitrates into nitrites. Then, as you consciously swallow, these nitrites travel further into your digestive system, where your stomach's acidic environment and subsequent absorption into your bloodstream continue and complete that vital process, ultimately transforming those nitrites into their final active form, nitric oxide. Within mere minutes of this consumption, many individuals report experiencing a subtle yet noticeable sensation of lightness, an enhanced mental clarity, and an overarching sense of improved oxygenation throughout their system. and over a sustained period, provided you maintain diligent consistency in your consumption, this leads to progressively stronger, more robust blood flow, not exclusively directed to your heart and brain, important as they are, but critically also to your lower body, specifically the pelvic region, where so many men unfortunately begin to acutely feel the cumulative effects of the years catching up to them. I have had countless men passionately convey to me, "Doc, I genuinely thought I was done. I honestly believed the best part of life, the vitality, the intimacy, was irrevocably behind me. But then, after incorporating just 2 consistent weeks of morning beet juice into their routine, they are calling me back. Their voices filled with renewed optimism and energy, telling me that they feel significantly sharper mentally, demonstrably more energetic throughout their day, and unequivocally more responsive and capable in their most intimate moments. It is essential to understand that this transformation extends far beyond mere sexual performance. It is profoundly about identity. It is about the profound satisfaction of waking up in the morning and possessing the intrinsic knowing that your body still listens to you, that it still responds with the vigor and capability you once knew. And here's an even more exhilarating facet to this discovery. Beets don't simply assist with facilitating better blood flow. They actually perform a deeper, more protective function. They actively help to shield your delicate blood vessels from ongoing damage. They effectively reduce systemic inflammation, which is a major contributor to many age-related ailments. And they can even significantly contribute to lowering elevated blood pressure over time, thereby improving overall cardiovascular health. This means they are not merely addressing and fixing one isolated problem. They are comprehensively strengthening and fortifying your entire cardiovascular foundation, acting as a true foundational pillar for long-term health. But of course, for this entire powerful mechanism to work optimally and deliver the profound benefits it is capable of, you absolutely need to know how to effectively utilize beets in the correct manner, the precise timing of their consumption, the chosen method of preparation, and even what other foods you consume alongside them can either profoundly enhance or severely diminish your potential results. Therefore, allow me now to meticulously guide you through exactly how to seamlessly integrate beets into your morning routine, and crucially, how to extract the absolute maximum benefit and potential from every single bite or sip. Let's now turn our attention to the tangible evidence, the real results experienced by real men over 60, bringing the science vividly to life. There is something profoundly impactful and undeniably powerful about witnessing scientific principles transcend the theoretical realm of clinical trials and academic textbooks and manifest instead in the lived experiences of genuine individuals. And I can declare with absolute, unreserved honesty that some of the most deeply rewarding and professionally gratifying moments throughout my entire career have been those instances when I hear the quiet yet palpable return of hope in a man's voice as he utters those simple yet incredibly meaningful words, "Doc, it's actually working." Allow me to share with you the compelling story of Mr. Anderson. He was 67 years old when he first sought my help. A retired teacher, he was a soft-spoken, inherently proud man, but it was abundantly clear that he was silently weighed down by something deeply unspoken, a burden he carried heavily. He confided in me that he hadn't experienced a full, natural erection in over 8 long months. There was no morning stiffness, no spontaneous arousal that felt truly complete or satisfying. This distressing reality was, as he tearfully admitted, beginning to significantly strain his marriage and his most intimate relationship. But even more profoundly than its impact on his relationship, this physical decline was fundamentally altering how he perceived himself. He articulated his inner turmoil by saying, "I feel as though my own body is betraying me, and I honestly don't know how to fight back against this feeling." We engaged in an extensive conversation about the critical importance of robust blood flow, the indispensable role of nitric oxide in vascular function, and the profound, often underestimated influence of diet on overall physiological health. Following our discussion, I suggested something remarkably simple, yet potentially life-altering. I asked him to begin each of his mornings with half a cup of fresh beet juice. That was the entirety of the initial intervention. There were no complex prescriptions, no overwhelming pressure, just a quiet, deeply personal commitment to himself and his own well-being. Approximately 2 weeks later, his office called me. His voice on the phone was noticeably lighter, imbued with a quality of almost disbelieving surprise. He exclaimed, "I woke up this morning, and there it was. Not weak, not partial, but solid, unmistakably solid, and I didn't need anything extra to make it happen." In that moment, through his voice, I could distinctly hear the triumphant return of his pride, the resurgence of his inherent dignity. It wasn't merely about physical performance in that instance, it was profoundly about a rediscovered sense of wholeness, of self-acceptance. He felt truly alive again, in every meaningful sense of the word. Mr. Anderson's deeply moving story, while powerfully illustrative, is by no means unique in my practice. I have observed this remarkable transformation unfold time and time again across a diverse spectrum of men. Plumbers, meticulous accountants, courageous veterans, revered pastors, men from all walks of life who had collectively resigned themselves to the belief that their best, most vital years were irretrievably behind them. Yet, with just a modicum of consistent support and unwavering commitment, they discovered, often to their own astonishment, that their bodies still possessed so much more to give, so much more capacity for vitality. What I earnestly wish for you to internalize and truly believe is this: you are absolutely not beyond help. Your body has not, in any sense, given up on you. Instead, it is patiently and resiliently waiting for the right signal, the precise type of support that aligns with its intricate biological needs. And when that crucial support is delivered through something as remarkably simple and accessible as a daily glass of beet juice, it serves as a powerful, undeniable reminder of just how incredibly intelligent, adaptable, and profoundly resilient the male body truly is, possessing an innate capacity for self-healing and restoration. But, as I have emphasized previously, the effectiveness isn't solely about the beet itself in isolation. It is equally, if not more, about how and when you strategically choose to incorporate it into your daily life. So now, let us meticulously walk through the precise methods of preparing and consuming it each morning to unlock its absolute full potential. Timing, as we will soon discover, is an absolutely crucial element, and the insights shared in the next few minutes have the power to fundamentally alter your trajectory towards renewed health. Let us explore when and how to integrate beets into your diet for maximum circulatory benefit. If there is one singular, overarching principle I have painstakingly distilled and learned over my many years dedicated to assisting older men in comprehensively restoring their health and vitality, it is unequivocally this: the precise timing of interventions and the unwavering consistency of their application can, and often does, make every conceivable difference in the outcome. You might possess the knowledge of the right food, be aware of the optimal nutrients, and harbor the best of intentions. But if you utilize these potent tools incorrectly, at an inopportune moment, or in a haphazard manner, you will inevitably fall short of achieving the profound results your body is inherently capable of manifesting. This critical interplay of timing and consistency is especially true when it comes to harnessing the full therapeutic potential of beets. Now, I fully appreciate that for some men, the prospect of adopting a new routine can feel daunting or even overwhelming. They might erroneously believe that they must radically overhaul every aspect of their lifestyle overnight or commit to preparing elaborate, time-consuming meals. However, I want to reassure you that the path to extracting the absolute maximum benefit from beets is, in reality, incredibly simple, elegant, and straightforward. And once you begin to personally experience the profound, tangible, positive effects it imparts upon your body, you will undoubtedly feel a compelling intrinsic motivation to enthusiastically continue. The morning, my friends, is undeniably the golden window of opportunity. This is the physiological period when your natural testosterone levels are typically at their daily zenith, when your intricate network of blood vessels is most responsive to vasodilatory signals, and when your entire body is optimally primed and prepared to efficiently absorb vital nutrients. Consuming beets on an empty stomach, or more conveniently, drinking fresh beet juice first thing in the morning creates an ideal internal environment that allows your body to convert those incredibly precious dietary nitrates into nitric oxide with dramatically greater efficiency and efficacy. I have personally observed and documented numerous instances where men attempted to consume beets later in the day or after having a heavy, substantial breakfast, and the discernible difference in their physiological response in terms of blood flow and overall vitality was stark, quite literally night and day. Therefore, here is my precise, actionable recommendation. Begin your day with approximately half a cup of gently roasted beet slices, or for those who prefer a liquid form, blend a small raw beet into your favorite morning smoothie, enriching its nutritional profile. For individuals seeking the utmost in convenience without compromising efficacy, a single scoop of a high-quality, reputable beetroot powder dissolved thoroughly in warm water can serve just as effectively. The key takeaway here is not the quantity, as you don't require an enormous amount. What truly matters above all else is that you make it a daily practice, consumed consistently before your first meal of the day. And there is one additional, seemingly minor, yet critically important piece of advice I invariably share with all my patients, which often comes as a surprise. Diligently avoid brushing your teeth immediately before or directly after consuming beets. I understand this might sound somewhat peculiar or counterintuitive at first blush, but it is rooted in sound biology. The friendly, beneficial bacteria residing naturally within your mouth play an indispensable role in initiating the crucial initial step of converting those dietary nitrates into nitrites, which then subsequently become nitric oxide. If you habitually use a strong antiseptic mouthwash or brush your teeth too soon after consuming beets, you risk inadvertently eradicating these essential bacteria, thereby effectively blocking or significantly impeding the very biochemical reaction your body requires to optimally boost its blood flow. It is these seemingly small, intricate details that elevate a good habit into a truly great, profoundly impactful one. And remember, just a few extra millimeters of enhanced blood flow can, in the context of male health and vitality, signify everything when it pertains to reclaiming your confidence, revitalizing your energy, and reigniting the spark of intimacy. However, as remarkably powerful and beneficial as beets are, it is crucial to understand that they are not a magical panacea. They require the optimal internal environment to effectively perform their physiological work. And regrettably, many men, entirely unknowingly, inadvertently sabotage their own potential results each morning by pairing their beet consumption with foods that are fundamentally counterproductive. In the subsequent section, I will meticulously reveal precisely what dietary items to scrupulously avoid and shed light on the surprising, common breakfast mistakes that may be silently and powerfully holding you back from experiencing the full, transformative benefits. Now, let's address the critical aspect of what not to eat in the morning if your earnest desire is to achieve consistently better erections and overall vascular health. It's often instinctual for us to focus exclusively on what we should add to our routines: the therapeutic beet juice, the disciplined morning regimen, the various circulation boosters. However, over my many years of dedicated practice, I have come to a profound realization. What you eliminate from your mornings can, in many instances, matter just as much, if not demonstrably more, than what you choose to include. You see, I have encountered numerous patients who, despite diligently adhering to my recommendation of incorporating beet juice, would express their frustration, saying, "Doc, I'm drinking the beet juice exactly as you instructed, but I'm simply not observing much discernible change." And upon a slightly deeper, more investigative dive into their daily habits, we would invariably uncover that their established breakfast choices were quietly yet powerfully working against their physiological goals. These were often foods they genuinely believed were harmless or perhaps even actively healthy, but which were, in reality, insidious culprits, systematically narrowing their precious arteries, inducing inflammation within their delicate blood vessels, and effectively blunting or entirely negating the very nitric oxide boost we were so meticulously striving to achieve. One of the most significant and pervasive culprits in this category is processed breakfast meats. The ubiquitous bacon, the tempting sausage links, the seemingly convenient deli ham. These foods are absolutely laden with excessive sodium and an array of chemical preservatives that possess a potent vasoconstrictive effect, meaning they actively constrict blood vessels and, by extension, dramatically reduce the crucial blood flow to your pelvic region. Then there are the refined carbohydrates, the alluring white toast, the fluffy muffins, the sugary pastries. These items trigger a rapid and significant spike in your insulin levels, leading to a subsequent crash in your delicate hormonal balance, including a detrimental impact on testosterone. And let's not overlook the common habit of consuming too much caffeine on an empty stomach, which can unfortunately elevate cortisol, your body's primary stress hormone. Elevated cortisol, in turn, causes blood vessels to tighten and constrict, making the natural process of arousal significantly more difficult and less spontaneous. Now, to be clear, I am certainly not suggesting that you can never again enjoy these foods. Life is about balance and occasional indulgence. However, if your genuine and deeply held aspiration is to truly restore your manhood, to unequivocally give your body its absolute best fighting chance at revitalization, then the critical first hour of your day must be meticulously structured to actively support healing and rejuvenation, not to inadvertently block or hinder it. Instead of reaching for those inflammatory processed meats, make a conscious, healthier choice. Opt for a protein-rich boiled egg or a small, nutritious handful of raw nuts. Rather than sugary toast or highly processed cereal, consider a wholesome slice of creamy avocado artfully placed on a piece of whole grain bread. These types of nutrient-dense foods harmoniously pair beautifully with beets. They provide essential healthy fats, a spectrum of vital vitamins, and crucial minerals that collectively nourish your blood vessels, supporting their integrity and elasticity, and simultaneously promoting optimal hormonal balance. When you consciously implement this pivotal shift, actively removing what clogs and inflames your delicate system and strategically replacing it with whole, natural foods that intrinsically nourish and protect, your body responds with remarkable gratitude and efficiency. The blood flows with renewed vigor, a comforting warmth returns to previously cold extremities, and for countless men, that profound experience of their first truly natural erection after weeks or even months of absence feels nothing short of life breathing back into their core sense of identity and self-worth. But as we've established, timing isn't solely about the specific foods you consume. It is intrinsically tied to fundamental human biology. There is a deeply rooted physiological reason why I unequivocally recommend performing all of these health-restoring practices in the morning rather than later in the day. This is because something uniquely powerful and profoundly beneficial happens within your body each morning that designates this period as the perfect, most potent window to systematically rebuild your strength and vitality. And in the forthcoming segment, I will meticulously elucidate precisely why the timing of your crucial morning habits possesses the capacity to fundamentally change everything for your health trajectory. Let us now explore why morning matters far more than you might ever think in the grand scheme of your health and vitality. Over my extensive years of clinical observation and practice, I have consistently noticed something profoundly powerful and deeply transformative about men who commit with unwavering dedication to establishing and maintaining consistent morning habits, especially those men who are gracefully navigating life beyond the age of 60. It isn't merely that their bodies demonstrate a superior physiological response during these early hours, although that is an undeniable and significant truth rooted in biological rhythms. More deeply, it is that the mornings themselves evolve into a quiet yet incredibly potent turning point, a profound act of reclaiming, a sacred moment where, instead of passively allowing the demands and stresses of the unfolding day to dictate their emotional and physical state, they consciously and proactively choose to set their own tone for the day, a tone imbued with strength, purposeful intention, and profound self-healing. Biologically speaking, the morning is truly a golden window of unparalleled opportunity for male health optimization. Your testosterone levels naturally ascend to their daily peak during these early hours, which inherently means your body is far more naturally responsive to stimulation, encompassing both mental clarity and physical readiness. Furthermore, your blood pressure tends to be slightly, yet optimally elevated in the early morning. While this might superficially sound like a potential negative, it actually serves a crucial physiological purpose. It primes your intricate circulatory system for action, making it exceptionally receptive, provided you furnish it with the precise, supportive nutrients it requires. When you conscientiously consume nitric oxide boosting foods, such as beets, in the morning on an empty stomach, your body's enzymatic machinery is dramatically more efficient and adept at converting these dietary nitrates into that critically important vasodilator, nitric oxide. That gas, as you are now well aware, acts as the biochemical command to your blood vessels, instructing them to relax and gracefully expand, effectively opening the gates for a surging flow of oxygen, vital nutrients, and life-giving blood to reach every single corner of your body. This includes, crucially, the intimate regions that are so fundamentally linked to your sense of intimacy and core self-confidence. But there's an even more profound, deeply human aspect I've consistently observed in my patients. When a man begins his morning with such deliberate intention, consciously choosing to nourish and fortify himself rather than resorting to skipping breakfast entirely or impulsively grabbing something fast, processed, and ultimately detrimental, he embarks on a powerful journey of reclaiming control over his own health narrative. This is fundamentally a psychological shift as much as it is a physical one, and for men who have, for far too long, felt a sense of powerlessness or disconnect within their own bodies, that deep-seated shift can be nothing short of truly life-changing. I vividly recall one particular patient, a 72-year-old former Marine, who articulated his aspirations to me with profound clarity. "Doc, I don't want a mere shortcut. I want a mission. I want a compelling reason to wake up each morning and fight for my body again." We started small with manageable yet impactful steps. A simple glass of beet juice, a mindful 10-minute walk in the fresh air, and a conscious upgrade to a more nutritious breakfast. Within a remarkably short span of a few weeks, he wasn't merely experiencing better circulation, he reported sleeping more soundly, laughing with greater frequency and genuine joy, and showing up in his marriage with a distinctly renewed sense of presence and engagement. That, my friends, is the profound power that well-structured morning routines can truly unleash. They don't just mend the body, they comprehensively anchor the man, restoring his inner strength and sense of purpose. Now, a very natural and pertinent question you might be pondering is, how long does it actually take before you genuinely start to perceive and feel these transformative changes? When do the tangible benefits truly begin to manifest in your energy levels, your physical performance, and that deeply important sense of confidence? That is precisely what we are going to explore in the very next section, because the timeline of these remarkable results may very well surprise you, especially if you have been languishing in a state of diminished vitality for a considerable period. Let us now turn our attention to what you can realistically expect on your journey, outlining the timeline for results and providing a roadmap of progress. One of the most frequently posed questions I encounter from men when I earnestly recommend a natural, holistic approach such as daily beet juice is invariably this: "Dr. Kara, How long will it genuinely take until I actually feel something, until I see a tangible difference? It is, without a doubt, an entirely fair and understandable question, because let's be candid and acknowledge that when you've endured months or even years, feeling as though your body is consistently letting you down, gradually betraying your expectations, it becomes profoundly challenging to fully believe that something seemingly so simple, so accessible, could truly spark such a significant and positive change. And yet, with the cumulative wisdom of my extensive practice, I have witnessed this remarkable transformation unfold time and time again with inspiring regularity. In the very initial few days of incorporating this routine, most men typically do not perceive major, dramatic changes in their bedroom performance, as the body is just beginning its recalibration. However, what they do invariably notice is a constellation of subtle yet undeniably positive shifts. This might manifest as a little more healthy color returning to their face, a slightly enhanced mental focus and clarity throughout the day, or even a noticeable ease in the act of simply getting out of bed in the morning, replacing previous sluggishness. These aren't random occurrences. They are, in fact, the undeniable early signs of your intricate circulatory system gently but surely waking up and resuming optimal function once again. By approximately day 4 or 5, that foundational nitric oxide boost begins to steadily build and accumulate within your system. Your blood vessels, previously constricted and less responsive, start to open up more freely and efficiently, allowing for greater blood flow. Many men report experiencing warmer hands and feet, signaling improved peripheral circulation. Some of my patients even tell me they feel a profound sense of lightness, as if their body isn't laboring quite so arduously just to navigate the demands of their daily existence. Then comes the pivotal milestone of day 7. This is precisely where things truly begin to get profoundly interesting and often quite exciting. A significant number of my patients have, with genuine astonishment and renewed hope, reported waking up with their first spontaneous morning erection in many, many months, sometimes even years. Crucially, this occurs without the aid of any medication, without any external physical stimulation. It is purely the natural, unforced result of blood finally reaching precisely where it needs to go, reinvigorating the erectile tissues. And it is not merely the physical response that is so deeply impactful, it is the profound emotional lift that invariably accompanies it, a powerful visceral sense of, I'm back, a reclaiming of self. By the 2-week mark, a substantial majority of men begin to observe and experience truly measurable improvements. These can include stronger, more consistent responses to physical touch, sustained and more consistent energy levels throughout the entire day, and in many documented cases, even a noticeable reduction in blood pressure, contributing to overall cardiovascular health. And if you commit to maintaining this beneficial routine consistently for a full 30 days, it transcends being merely a temporary change. It firmly establishes itself as a foundational pillar for your sustained well-being. I consistently remind all my patients that the ultimate key to success here is not the pursuit of unattainable perfection. Instead, it is the steadfast, unwavering commitment to consistency. You are not attempting to forcefully coerce your body into submission. Rather, you are profoundly supporting its innate capacity for healing and self-regulation. And when you diligently provide your body with precisely what it needs, day by day, moment by moment, it responds with remarkable efficiency and gratitude. And here's arguably the best, most encouraging part of this entire approach. This isn't solely about achieving better erections or boosting your immediate energy levels. Beats are actively performing a much deeper, more fundamental work beneath the surface of your physiology. They are comprehensively supporting your long-term vascular health, the very intricate system that is absolutely vital for keeping your brain acutely sharp, your heart robustly strong, and your manhood vibrantly alive. So let's take this exploration one significant step further. What if this simple, accessible morning habit could transcend being merely a routine and evolve into a profound ritual, a daily practice that not only significantly improves your physical performance, but also fundamentally helps you reclaim your very identity as a man? In the ensuing section, we will meticulously explore precisely how that transformative shift happens and why it is so immeasurably more powerful and enduring than simply resorting to taking a pill. Let's now delve into the morning ritual that possesses the profound capacity to reclaim masculinity in its truest, most authentic sense. There is something truly sacred, an almost hallowed quality about the quiet, undisturbed stillness of the morning hours, particularly before the cacophony of daily noise, the relentless stream of distractions, and the accumulating weight of the day's responsibilities begin to descend upon us. For a great many of the men I have the privilege of working with, those pristine early hours transcend their functional purpose of merely eating or taking a brisk walk. They transform into a profound intentional moment to deeply reconnect with themselves, to remember who they authentically are, and to actively take back something they had perhaps resigned themselves to believing was irretrievably lost: their sense of masculinity. Now, I want to be absolutely clear. I am not discussing masculinity in the loud, often performative, and sometimes aggressive way that society frequently portrays it. Rather, I am speaking of a deeper, more fundamental form of masculinity, the quiet strength that emanates from within, the grounded, unshakable confidence that comes from self-awareness, the calm, inherent knowing that your body still functions, that it is still unequivocally yours, and that you still possess the innate capacity to rise in every conceivable sense of the word. For so many of my older patients, the deliberate act of meticulously building a morning ritual around something as remarkably simple and elemental as consistently drinking beet juice transforms into a pivotal turning point in their lives. It ceases to be solely about the physiological improvements in circulation or the attainment of firmer, more reliable erections, though these outcomes are undeniably important and profoundly valued. Instead, it profoundly evolves into a powerful act of consistently showing up for oneself, of prioritizing one's own well-being. Nourishing your body first thing in the morning sends a clear, unequivocal message, spoken not through words but through dedicated action. I still care about myself. I am still actively fighting for my own vitality and worth. And that profound message, when consistently delivered through daily, deliberate action, begins to subtly yet powerfully reshape your entire mindset from the inside out, fostering a renewed sense of self-respect and empowerment. I distinctly recall one particular man, a 74-year-old widower, who had spent the preceding few years in what he described as a quiet retreat, a period of profound introspection and withdrawal. He rarely ventured out, felt a pervasive sense of disconnect from his former self, but he steadfastly committed to this simple morning habit day after day: fresh beet juice consumed at sunrise, followed by a short meditative walk and a few deep, intentional breaths. After just 3 weeks of this dedicated practice, he confided in me, his voice imbued with a newfound clarity and lightness. I feel like I've truly woken up, not just physically, but something else, something much deeper within me has stirred awake. That, my friends, is the profound kind of holistic transformation we are truly speaking about here, because, truthfully, it extends far beyond mere erections or localized blood flow. It is fundamentally about the reclamation of identity, the resurgence of an inner spirit. When you consciously choose to start your day with such clear intention, with genuine self-care, and with an empowering sense of purpose, Your body, in turn, begins to deeply trust you again. And within the sanctity of that renewed trust, profound and enduring healing invariably begins to unfold. And there remains one more crucial piece of this intricate puzzle I wish to impart, perhaps the single most important aspect of all. Because even with the adoption of this potent morning ritual, even with the meticulous selection of the right foods and the precise timing of their consumption, most men, regrettably, still miss one vital truth. It is a deceptively simple insight that could genuinely mean the profound difference between achieving mere short-term improvements and realizing a truly long-term, sustainable restoration of vitality and well-being. And that, my friends, is precisely what we will address in the concluding thoughts. A final word from Dr. Kara. If you have journeyed with me this far, I want to take a deeply personal moment to speak directly to you, not solely in my professional capacity as a doctor, but as someone who has had the immense privilege of walking alongside thousands of men who are, in many profound ways, just like you. Men who have, for far too long, carried the silent burden of quiet shame, the gnawing ache of silent frustration, or an escalating sense of disconnection from their own bodies, feeling as though a vital part of themselves has gradually slipped away. Men who have bravely, perhaps even stoically, tried to laugh it off, attempted to tough it out with sheer willpower, or simply resigned themselves to the pervasive yet often false belief that this is simply an inevitable, unchangeable consequence of the aging process. But I am here, standing before you, to remind you with every fiber of my being that it absolutely does not have to be that way. The profound, empowering truth is this: your body is still actively listening, still remarkably responsive, and still profoundly capable of transformative change, even if the world around you, or even your own internal dialogue, has stopped expecting it of you. And sometimes, with astonishing simplicity, all it truly takes is one small, yet unwavering and consistent act of self-care, such as integrating beets into your morning ritual, to begin that powerful, cascading ripple effect of healing that can permeate every aspect of your life. I have personally witnessed this miraculous resurgence happen in countless men who had firmly believed their best, most vibrant years were unequivocally over, only to joyfully discover that their inherent strength, their deep-seated confidence, and their profound sense of vitality were still vibrantly alive within them, merely patiently waiting for the right signal, the correct biological cue to reawaken. I don't share these deeply moving patient stories because they are rare, isolated anomalies. On the contrary, I share them with fervent hope and conviction because they are profoundly possible for you. And if you possess the courage and willingness to take that pivotal first step, not for anyone else's approval or expectation, but solely and authentically for yourself, then this remarkably simple morning habit has the undeniable potential to mark the beginning of an entirely new, deeply empowering chapter in your life. A chapter where you finally cease the exhausting cycle of merely managing symptoms and instead begin the exhilarating journey of truly reclaiming control over your health, your body, and your destiny. But let me be unequivocally clear on this point. This is far more than just a mere routine. It is a fundamental shift in mindset, a profound conscious decision you make each day. Every single time you consciously choose to drink that life-giving beet juice or mindfully sit down to a breakfast that truly nourishes your system, you are actively sending an incredibly powerful, affirmative message to your heart, to your intricate network of hormones, and most significantly, to your cherished manhood itself. I'm still here, vibrant and capable, and I still profoundly matter. So I urge you, take a moment to genuinely ask yourself, what would it truly feel like to wake up each morning brimming with natural energy again? To confidently look in the mirror and feel an authentic, deep connection to your body, seeing it as an ally rather than an adversary, to possess the inner knowing that the transformative changes you are diligently making are not merely temporary fixes, fleeting solutions, but rather real, lasting, and deeply meaningful steps toward becoming the man you intrinsically desire to be, the man you are truly meant to be. And now that we have meticulously uncovered this profound yet simple pathway to renewed vitality, the power to initiate this transformation rests firmly in your hands.